$30,000 in one day. She just requested to join, so we're going to get her on here. Right here, if I can get it going while she's adding on. www.prospectingalliance.com. While you guys are hopping on, if you were one of the live watchers, make sure. Shauna, what's up? How you doing?
Hi.
Cool.
I'm fantastic. How about you?
Good. I'm not sideways or upside down, and the screen works. So
No, you're not sideways and crazy all over the place.
yeah, I don't know what the heck just happened there just for a second. It's weird. So you're on. You made it here. I had some delays with you today, so I appreciate your patience with me because I know you're not busy like selling houses and stuff. You're just like you have time to just like
Not at
shuffle.
all.
Awesome. So as
Yeah.
you guys are popping on, make sure that you turn your notifications on at the bottom of your feed. Like, comment, share. If you're a live watcher, drop an L. If you're a replayer, drop an R. I'd love to know where you guys are from. So let's introduce Shauna. Shauna is from Greensboro, North Carolina. She's been through Fearless Agent. She's in my personal mastermind, the WTR Mastermind. She's been through Financial Freedom Nation. You've actually invested a lot in learning with me. So awesome. Appreciate that. Let's talk about your stats though. You're going to
Yeah.
close over 100 units this year, right? That's what you're on track for?
We're on track for over 100 units this year.
What do you think you'll close this year?
I think we'll hit right around 120.
Right around 120. And now, when you say we, do you got a mouse in your pocket, or what's your we look like?
No, I just don't want to sell 120 homes all by myself.
Right.
So I have an agent on my team. Her name is Becky Green. She's absolutely amazing. She's been with me since 2015 when I was expecting my daughter, and I looked around and I was like, who's going to manage all this business when I'm not here?
Yep.
She is phenomenal, and I love her dearly. Then I retired my husband, Brian, at the age of 28 so that he could come join me and get in on this crazy real estate world with me as well. And then we also have the assistant on our team.
Okay,
So
cool.
3 producers, 1 assistant, lots of fun.
Awesome. Cool. So let's backtrack 90 seconds or less. How did you get to where you're at in your business today?
Oh my gosh, 90 seconds. Okay. So I graduated from college early after graduating from high school early because school just wasn't for me and I needed to get on with life. I was super fortunate to end up in the mortgage industry for about 18 months before the market completely crashed. I bought a house and then I had no idea what to do with my life. So I found a position that was in marketing and it was advertised as marketing, not really related to real estate. And I said, okay, well, that's my degree, that's my background, let's go do it. Even if I make pennies to do it, let's
Yeah.
just get a job. So I took that job and it turned out it was with a small real estate firm. They ended up moving to a big firm that I'm still with today. And instead of doing any business, they were selling 12 houses a year and paying me to sit there and be an assistant and sending me to training for them. So one day I took a
Nice.
class and I said, what am I doing with my life? I'm ready to do something. I'm ready to get out of debt. I'm ready to have a family. You know, why am I not living the American dream? That's what I set out to do. So I took the real estate course. I sold 14 houses in my first 9 months in the business, and then I turned around and sold 42 in the next 12 months.
So what
And
year
it's
did
just
you
been an
what year did
upward
you go
ride.
sell? What year did you first go sell when you did 14 homes? What year was that?
That was 2013.
So 2013. So the market had already crashed and starting to go up the other side. But you were an assistant from what year to what year?
2012 to 2013 and part
Okay.
of 2013
So, and I
until
don't know what it
September.
was.
Yeah.
I don't know what Greensboro was like, but I remember that was 2011, 2012 were the worst 2 years of real estate here in my local market. Was it pretty bad where you guys were that year?
Yeah, it was really bad where we were.
I would imagine. So going forward now, you got your license, you did 14 homes, you did 42 deals, and now you're on track for 120 deals this year, 5 years later. How big is your town?
Well, the town that I live in is outside of Greensboro and it's called Mayodan. We have
Okay.
about 2,500 people.
So 2,500 in your town. How many people in the area that you work? Like, what's the population?
Well, I work in Greensboro. I work the whole triad, so we have a much bigger vision. In the triad, though, Greensboro area, right around 240,000.
Okay, so not like ridiculous though, right? Like 240,000,
No.
250,000 is actually a pretty small market compared to, Phoenix, LA, Dallas, Austin. Even my market's 500,000 people, not even counting Salt Lake. So you're not in a huge market by any means. How many transactions sell do you think in your market what is it, Triad County? What do you call it?
Well, we call it the triad area.
So how many units sell in a 12-month period in the Triad area?
Well, if you're looking at the whole triad, I would say
Yeah.
about 5,000.
Okay. So 5,000 is, I mean, relatively not a gigantic amount, right? Like that's for what it is compared to other markets. So you're owning a good portion of that market space. Would you agree?
Oh yeah, we
Is
have
anything?
over 4,000 agents in that market space too.
Wow, so that's quite a few agents in that market space. So let's
Um,
understand then what allowed you to keep growing and hit to where you're hitting 100 units a year. What was like that one secret sauce?
you know, I think, funny enough, my business trajectory changed. I was at an office with the company that I'm with, and I was the top producer after just a few years, and I looked around and said, something's not right. I don't need to be the biggest fish in a little pond. I need to be a medium-sized fish in a big pond with some big swimmers, right? So
Yep.
I moved to a different office in our area, and it's actually called Keller Williams Triad because they have that bigger vision like we
Yep.
do. So we got around some top talent in the area. We started having different conversations, and we started growing. Um, I was thinking before we got on this today, I didn't really want to say if I had to point out anything in the last 18 months that changed my business trajectory, it was probably taking Financial Freedom Nation with you. Because at
Ah,
that point, yeah, at that point when we got our finances in order and we started focusing on our personal development as a family at a higher level, it really changed things. So in the last 18 months, we moved to the Keller Williams Triad office. We took Financial Freedom Nation, and everything really started growing from there. Like we were already growing, but we've done so much more than we could have before, which is
okay. So
exciting.
let's talk first of all. You go to the Keller Williams Triad. What was the conversation that was being had there over the last 18 months that you weren't having at your last office?
We started talking about me recruiting talent.
Hmm.
And even when I didn't think I had time to recruit talent, it was time to recruit talent because I thought I didn't have time to do it.
Yep.
And looking at those conversations that I was having on the day to day a little bit differently so that we could start growing and really get our vision out there to other people.
So when was the time right though to start growing your talent versus just growing your inventory?
For us, when we were maxed out, I always wait too long to hire. I'm super slow to hire. When we were completely maxed out, the four of us, and just couldn't service our clients like we wanted to and like we did in the past, people still loved us, and yet we didn't feel like we were loving on them as much as we had in the past.
Hmm.
And we were just at that point where it was like, okay, well, we're not behind on paperwork. Paperwork's not the problem. The problem is not being able to have enough conversations in the day. And we
Yeah.
needed to have more conversations to break through that next level we were looking for.
Okay. So you needed to increase the number of people that you were talking with to be able to set more appointments, go on more appointments, get more contracts signed, negotiate more deals, get paid more money at the end of it, right? That's the gist of
Right.
it.
Definitely.
David Massey, thanks for hopping on live. Get your husband Brian here
Hi,
watching.
David.
Richard Anderson, Greg, Graydon on my sales team. Good to see you guys. So, if you guys were watching, how would you like to be able to get to over 100 closings a year? One of the cool things that I think that put a yes if you would be open to that. Okay, put a no if you think it's a terrible idea. One of the things she said that it was going through Financial Freedom Nation. Now, not to do a shameless plug for my programs because we don't even actively sell that program right now, but talk to me about financial freedom and getting your money and your cash flow in order that was so important in helping you make a shift.
So it's funny. a lot of us top producers are out here, we're being really entrepreneurial and we're running our business and we'll just continue the hustle as long as we can to make more money, right? Because that's what it's all about. At the end of the day is the bottom line to us. And when I signed up for Financial Freedom Nation, I talked to my husband about it in advance and I got a little bit of his buy-in, which I don't always get. Um, because, he didn't sign up for this ride. He didn't know when he married me back in 2011 that I was going to be, the mega agent that I intend to be now and doing crazy business and working crazy hours to just hustle till it happened. um, I had created this massive 15-year plan and mapped everything out that I hoped to accomplish, and I didn't really get his buy-in on it. So when we went through Financial Freedom Nation together, and he was able to hear the things that I was saying from somebody else, and we were able, as a couple, to make decisions about things together and grow together, it really changed things for me personally.
That's awesome. So when you're looking at financial freedom nation, what are some of the big takeaways from that program for you?
The big takeaways for me, my mindset changed completely. I was familiar with the concepts, but something about the way that we collaborated in there with you and the way that you presented them spoke to me a little bit differently. And I think maybe it's the combination of the way that you walk through the material week by week, so you're not completely overwhelmed with everything all at one time, and yet
Yep.
you have some residual homework. Like, you have to put the work in. It's
Right.
not just show up once a week, listen to Colton talk for an hour and interact, and then you're done. You have to put the work in behind the scenes.
What were some of your biggest, like I remember one of your huge takeaways, I don't want to share it for you, but what was one of the biggest things that shifted for you at the beginning of taking the Jumpstart program? And I'm talking about like getting set up with Insight Tax.
Oh my gosh. So for me, I had a background in college. I worked at H&R Block, and here we are making more money than we've ever made, and we don't really know how to manage it or where it's going. Well, on top of that, I'm a procrastinator when it comes to taxes. So I was putting things off, until the absolute last minute and filing an extension, which a lot of real estate agents do, right?
Hmm.
We don't want to deal with that. We don't have time to deal with that because we're so busy. So I actually prepared my taxes in advance just to see where we were and what we were expecting. And I talked to Dustin at Insight Tax, and Nate is my guy now over there at Insight Tax. And Nate went ahead and prepared our taxes for the same year. We immediately saved $7,000. Like overnight, he found $7,000 for us. And I was like, okay, I get it. Let's do this. Let's move forward with this. Now they do all of my bookkeeping. They do all of my taxes. I never have to think about it. I never have to stress about it or worry about it. So leveraging that off of myself was huge, especially at that point in my life. And they
So,
continue to just be amazing and
so
find
it's
new things for us to be creative with.
a key word here is leverage. You began to leverage yourself in such a way that you could be the steward over your finances to operate your business. Save 7 grand in the meantime, even after you pay them, right? Throughout the year, you're still profitable on what you would have paid out doing it yourself. Plus, now you have a P&L come in every single month that you get to look at. Where am I wasting money? How can I shift? Where can I reallocate so that the return on my investment gets better? And plus, you've learned how to manage your cash flow, and that takes time to get awesome at it. But have you started now focusing on the long-term financial freedom side, creating the residual and passive income and working towards that?
Yes. So everything unfolded pretty quickly for us. Like, we started leveraging our financial situation, then we started leveraging me a little bit further along the way. And then we started simultaneously giving more money away and building more investment. So we actually, last year, we flipped our first property, Brian and I did together, and we bought another investment property. Then we started looking at our stock portfolio and how we could diversify our investment from there. So
What
that's been
stocks
really
did
cool making those decisions together.
so do you are you in the stock market then, since we talked about that, or are you guys not there yet?
We are
What
lightly,
are the like
and
okay,
it's
no,
growing.
hey, you have to start somewhere, right? So where did you start with, like, how did you pick your stocks? And I know this is so off a real estate topic, but it's so important if you want to create a long-term portfolio financial freedom. So how did you pick your stocks, and how did you even get going into it?
So we looked at the things that we liked and we were interested in. And Brian had already been dabbling in that world without me. I was really hesitant because my grandparents had actually put a lot of money in stocks for me to pay for college. And when the market tanked, everything that they had saved for me for their whole lives was pretty much gone.
Right.
And so I was really hesitant to go there. Brian already had invested in WWE, which he's really passionate about. He's always watched that with his family growing up, and he keeps up with it still today. And I watch it sometimes
Nice.
with him still today.
Heck
So
yeah.
we started there. Yeah, we started there and had really good timing because, now they have WWE Network. And from there, Brian had selected a couple of things, but then we started listening to you and what you were doing and moving money around from there. So
So
that's
I
been
don't know
fun.
if you bought when I said, but I said get Netflix. Netflix is trading at 400 and like something bucks a share. I think when I first talked about it to the Financial Freedom Group it was right around 135, 140 bucks a share, right? Phenomenal stock. Still great stock, not as great as it was a couple of years ago, but still great stock. Another one, and I'm going to kick your butt, Sean, if you don't freaking get in on this, DocuSign. DocuSign is
I
freaking one of the cheapest, undervalued, underpriced stock buy right now. They've been public for just a couple of months. I think they're right around $63, $64 a share. So there's a tip for everyone here. Go buy some DocuSign. Let's shift back into real estate. So you did a couple fix and flips. You did a couple investments there. And now you're focused on leveraging your business part of your portfolio, which is your real estate sales business. Let's look over the next 12 months. How do you want to grow your organization, and what's the process that you're working on to do that?
So right now we are auditioning for our first inside sales assistant, and we have been blown away today. I sent you a message earlier. We put, just a note out there on Facebook that we were looking to grow our team if you were interested to reach out. We ended up with, between that post and Indeed, over 60 applicants to sort through. And I was
Wow.
quickly overwhelmed. I said, okay, let's sit down, let's do this together. Brian and I make our decisions together. We narrowed that list down to 6, and now we've narrowed down and we're doing the audition process. For the first girl that came in today, I was super impressed. She was in the office for about half a day. She set 4 appointments. 4 appointments. And now I'm
And
like, okay, well, how, what are we going to do if we set 4 appointments every day? We're going to need more agents.
right.
So we're
Yeah,
just
you're
going
going
to
to
keep
have
growing.
to. The good thing is with 4 appointments a day, you got to be selective on what appointment you go on, right? And you'll find out
Oh,
when
absolutely.
the appointments she's setting, 50% of them are going to be great. The other 50 are going to be shit, right? So let's back up. You got 60 applicants from Indeed and Facebook. What was the ad that you put out there? Like what was the vision you were looking for that position?
We were looking for, in the Facebook, it was just completely different. Facebook, I just said, if you are looking for an opportunity in real estate sales and you want to talk, let me know. And the response that I got from that alone was pretty overwhelming. And Brian said, okay, well, we need to put something out there on Indeed because he's been studying how other teams and groups are hiring and what their models look like. So we actually looked up what other people were saying, what they were doing for the ISA role. And we said we were looking for real estate rock stars and sales talent, and they didn't have to have their real estate license.
This sounds pretty similar to my ad. Looking for real estate rock stars, don't need a real estate license, get started, make a shit ton of money. I think I say something like that. I don't remember what it is. Or no, have a shit ton of fun. That's what I say. I can't tell you how many of the people that applied, I didn't hire all of them, but they applied because I said the word shit in my description for the job. And so I don't know what that's all about, but apparently a lot of people like to swear out there and are just afraid to say it more often, right? That's what that is. So
Yeah.
you've got 60 applications. What's the next step? How do you filter to get to 6? What's the process you take them through?
To get to 6, we took the 60 and we put them up on the team through the Chromecast. And we were
Okay.
just going through what they said, how they said it, how their resumes looked. I'm pretty particular when it comes to resumes. Like, if you can't spell the place that you worked at, or if you're not going to grammatically make the effort to show up, then I'm
Yep.
not really interested. Which
Yep.
is, maybe that's underset on my part, but that was the quickest way I knew to like narrow it down. So we took it down to somewhere between 12 and 15, and we did a phone interview because obviously we need them to be on the phone and we need them to build rapport quickly. So I did those phone interviews myself, and it really didn't take nearly as much time as I thought it would to
Yep.
just fly through those, have them introduce themselves. After we got off the phone, if I was interested in moving forward, I asked them to send me a video that was less than 2 minutes via Facebook or email in the next 48 hours with a link to their Facebook and their Instagram page and a disc profile from Tony Robbins.
Cool. So let's back up. Of the 60,
and the ones that didn't have the resume.
Okay, cool. So one of the things I would recommend you look at too, I love looking at if they did summer sales, like door-to-door sales, like pest control, alarm systems, security systems, things like that, or they did like telecommunications. Those are freaking my best hires. But how many of the 60 did you talk to on the phone?
We had narrowed to like 12 to 15 at
Okay,
that
so you
point.
took it from 60 down to 15, and from 15 you put them through where they from the 15, how many did you ask to send a video and send a link?
We asked, I think it was 8,
Okay.
and we got
So 2 of them weeded themselves out. 6 of them,
okay.
6 of them are still in there. Of those 6, are you meeting with all 6 of them? Are you putting? How does that look after that part?
I did meet with all 6 of them.
Okay.
And right now we're auditioning. We're going to be auditioning 3 of them.
Okay. So after the video, then you brought all 6 of them in different times for a one-on-one interview. Is that what you did?
Yes.
Okay. What did you look for?
And I invited a couple of them to a class that I was teaching all day yesterday in my market center.
Oh, nice.
And yeah.
Of those interviews, what was the thing you looked for in those 6 people you interviewed?
I was looking to see what questions they asked me, to be honest with you. I made a lot of bad hires before I got to this process and started really looking into what other people were doing. I had people that we hired. The first hire that I made was before Becky, the amazing agent who's on our team now. And it was terrible. I was like, oh, yeah, you can work from home because I work from home.
Yeah.
And, I'll pay you way more than you need to make, and you just take my business right out from under me. I
Right.
mean,
Sounds
essentially,
great.
it created a terrible, terrible situation for myself and almost went broke doing that. Then after that, I made another terrible hire, someone who tried to steal my database and take all my business the second that they got their real estate license. So that I think that's why I'm slow to hire. I made some
Yeah.
huge mistakes to get here.
Be slow to hire, definitely. Now, put
Yeah.
a 1 in the comments if you've made a bad hire before. Put a 2 in the comments if you're still waiting to make a hire because you're afraid you're going to make a bad hire. I would say that I have made at least a dozen terrible hires in my career. You know what the worst part is for me is when I had to fire someone. Like I freaking hated it. I delayed it and delayed it and delayed
The
it for
worst.
so long. It's the worst. I hate having to fire people, no
And
matter
how
how crappy they're
and
doing.
how much money? How much money? Like we delay it, and then how much money does it
Yep.
cost us? It's
Well,
terrible.
not only in how much you're paying the individual, but then restarting, right? The opportunity cost that it costs us. So you narrowed it down from in the live session to 3. When you got to those 3, what are you running them through? Like where they come and make some phone calls for you, or what does it look like?
Well, so far we've only brought one person in for their audition. The other 2, we told them we would notify them later today, and we haven't done that yet.
So what does the audition look like? They come in and is she making calls? What's she doing?
So she came in this morning. We set her up in our dialing system. She has for sale by owners and she has GeoLead. That's it.
Okay. So of those other 2, what's your plan with them? Are you gonna bring them in for an audition, or are you gonna just possibly just hire this one?
Oh, they're going to go through the audition process as well. Same
Okay,
thing for sale
cool.
by owners and GeoLead.
So
Yeah, the
once,
sale, for sale by owners are a little easier right now though. So the
yeah, they
GeoLeads
are
is
pretty
where
easy.
we'll learn.
So do they just come in 1 day, 2 days, 3 days? How many days they make calls for you?
They're coming in 2 days.
2 days. And is it all day long? Is it just for a few hours?
We actually gave them the option that they could do 4 hours, they could do 8 hours. It's really up to
Okay.
them and how quickly they can
Okay.
set some appointments.
Cool. Sweet. I would recommend you try and hire at least two of them and fire one of them after 30 days. That would be the goal. I found out if I hire in a cluster, one of them will stay and one of them will automatically quit out. So what you're saying is to hire one, maybe two people, you had to get 60 applicants. Is that a pretty fair assessment?
Yeah. I mean,
Yep.
that's pretty fair.
Yep. So you're beginning to understand the quickest way to really grow your wealth is to leverage and grow your business, increase the cash flow, manage that cash flow, and then funnel it into different investments along the way so that you can live the ultimate American dream, which is just do whatever the hell you want and make a lot of money. Is that basically it? Oh no, we just lost Shauna. We got to bring her back on. I don't know what happened to her. She just fell off. Hold on, we'll bring her back on. So listen, gang. Oh, there you are. Listen, gang.
I lost you.
Understand in order to grow your financial freedom, there are five different pillars. One is going to be real estate. Number two is going to be stock and cryptocurrencies. Number three is going to be probably your most important, which is building a business. Number four is going to be cash. Number five is going to be commodities. So have you learned the importance of holding a bunch of cash as well? Or are you cash broke? It's an interesting question to ask you on live.
We have it's totally fine. We have a lot of cash. We have it's interesting because my financial thermostat is a lot different than it used to be because I like having cash on hand. And Brian's like, I start looking at the bank accounts and I'm like, where's our cash? And he's like, what do you mean, where's our cash? Here's our cash. I'm like, yeah, but now
Yeah,
I have a much higher expectation for our cash than I ever did before.
yeah. What's
And
your personality your money
having
personality?
having a 30,000. Oh, I'm a spender.
You're a spender? What's Brian?
Uh, I don't remember. He's on here right now watching. Maybe he'll
Brian,
tell
put
us.
in the comments, what are you? I bet he's a saver or an avoider.
Avoider. That's it.
Avoider, right, that's right, an
He's a
avoider.
avoider.
Okay, so you got a spender and avoider. One person that spends all the money and one person that just avoids even paying attention to where the money is getting spent. But now you've shifted. Now you're consciously aware of
Yeah,
it.
he's like, just spend it.
So
Yeah, he's like, just spend it. It's okay. I'm not going to say anything.
did you ever think you would make $30,000 in one day though?
Did I? I think my master plan was, oh yeah, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do amazing things. I'm going to make a lot of money. I don't think I ever thought to myself that meant having a $30,000 day.
Yep.
Or, now I'm like, okay, when are we going to have a $50,000 day? And when can every day be a $30,000 day?
Yeah, there's always that next thing. He actually said he's a saver. I thought he was a saver. So he says you're changing though. Changing him. He meant changing. That's awesome. So that really works well having a spender and a saver. That's how my wife's a spender. I'm a saver big time. I would be freaking. I mean, I still wear freaking clothes from 6 years ago. But my wife, the only reason I have new shirts is because everyone thought I was working for Ruka, and I'm like, no, I'm not working for Ruka, right? So I stopped wearing those shirts. So going forward, let's talk about your goal is to hire two inside sales agents. 12 months from now, what do you see the vision of your business looking like?
12 months from now, I hope that we have three more agents and three more inside sales agents.
Okay.
So I'd like to have 6 hires over the next 12 months minimum. And in 12 months, I'd like to be pacing towards a sale a day. So
Nice.
365.
365. That should be your motto. Sell with the Overmans, 365, one home a
Three.
day. And when a person comes
Yeah.
on as an inside sales agent, what's their growth opportunity?
So their growth opportunity is tremendous. I mean, in our market, there aren't many teams that say, well, if you don't have your license, come learn how to sell real estate. And, we can put you on a path to make a six-figure income. So that's amazing in our area. And so many people have been really intrigued by that. Of course, that's why we have so many applicants, right?
Yep.
But we have a growth plan where they come in as an inside sales assistant is what we're calling them. And they'll be in the inside sales assistant role for 6 to 12 months while they learn how we do business, learn how we talk to people. They get to help on the back end a little bit and do a little bit of shadowing. At that point, they will be working on getting their real estate license and they can progress to the first level of sales with our team as an agent, which provides more compensation opportunity for them because then they can get a percentage of commission on top of their base pay. Then they have the opportunity to be in that role for 6 to 12 months before they become a sales associate on our team. And beyond sales associate, we've created a business partner role, and that's what we're calling our lead agent.
So is that with the business partner role, is that like the opportunity to have ownership in the business, or is it just like to have a higher level of splits, or what does that look like?
So it's a higher level of splits and the opportunity for revenue share from the team.
Okay, so like a revenue share or a profit share. Is it revenue share or profit share?
Revenue share.
Okay, cool, awesome. So I think that's really important. I think that's cool that you guys have that, and you don't have it figured out exactly how it's probably going to roll out, but you have a good idea in saying, hey, if you're going to invest the next 5 years with me, why not have an opportunity to get some of this revenue that the business is creating, right? Give them incentive. That's awesome. I love that.
We do. And since our area is more spread out than most cities, we have 240,000 people, but our city is also like really flat and spread out.
Yeah.
We cover 9 different counties. So we're hoping that when we find the right partners, that they'll be able to start their own teams in our surrounding offices and surrounding counties.
Yeah.
So that they can grow their own team as part of our big group.
Awesome. I love it. So if you guys get the vision of growing a team and how it can actually benefit everyone, put a yes in the comments. If you're still not quite sure that you need a team or that makes sense to be on a team or you think teams are stupid, put a 2 in the comments. I'd love to get your feedback, whether you're live or replayer. And if you are a live watcher, drop an L so I know, and an R if you're a replay. I'd love to connect and follow along with you guys. So let's shift gears. We went to New Orleans just it's probably been a couple weeks ago, 3 weeks, 3 weeks ago. We went for the Mastermind Retreat in New Orleans. Let's talk about that. What was your experience at the first Mastermind? Because you've never been to one with us before. How was it?
No, I've never been to one before. It was completely mind-blowing. There were so many takeaways. Like, how do you put everything into place immediately when you get back?
Yep.
So we have implemented some of the things that we went over, and we actually, we have a GoPro now. I take it around with me everywhere. I'm constantly recording content. Brian's a great video editor, thank goodness,
Nice.
because he could put all that together. And we just put one of our first videos out the other day because I wanted to be doing a higher level of content than we had in the past.
Yep.
However, beyond that, when I came back, I was like, okay, we had been talking about hiring. We had been working on hiring. I was like, I'm ready to go. We need to leverage ourselves further. We need to continue to grow because I think we have a huge responsibility. It's so funny. I say responsibility, and yet when we have the opportunity of being in this industry and making the amount of money that we make, I feel like we have this responsibility to help other people do the same thing so that they can create wealth and grow themselves and opportunities for their families as well. So coming back from talking with everyone in the mastermind group about how, oh no. Am I back yet? Oh, gotcha. Let me know. Am I?
Where are we? Can you hear me, Shauna? Shauna, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Where did it go? We lost you, Shauna. It says you're already a guest on here. Did this completely just get lost? Oh, Shauna, put a yes in the comments if you can hear me, or a no, or if you guys can still see her, or if I'm just talking to myself right now. I could possibly, dude. So it says that you're on here. I wonder if Houston, we do have a problem. Let me see if I can. Let me see if I can kick you off. It says that you're on here right now. This is so sad. Let's see. We can't see her, but it says on my freaking phone that you're on here still. So we may have just jacked this up completely. I may have had some technical difficulties. Give me 1 second. Let's see if I can finish this. I see and hear Colton, but no Shauna. It won't let me bring you on at all. This is such a bummer. See my unfinished basement in here. Let's see. Well, we may have to just like, we may have to end it here and restart because I'm so bummed right now. I don't know how. Oh, there we go. Wait a second. If I can just get this. This is such a bummer. I'm so sad. Oh no, Shauna. I think that I'm gonna have to end this and bring you back on. What we're gonna do is we're gonna wrap this up and we're gonna have Shauna come on another time because I don't know what the F happened here, but it's very clear that something's gone wrong with technology. So listen, some of the cool takeaways from her that I thought was you got to expand your vision. You got to expand your mind to a next level, having different conversations and change your perception around money, making sure that you are leveraging yourself every step of the way, and don't be afraid to hire because you are going to make some mistakes. And also think about what is it like to make more money? How would you feel if you could put $30,000 in your pocket one day? And she always knew she was going to make a lot of money, but she never imagined it'd be a $30,000 day. Why not imagine a $30,000 day? Why not imagine a $50,000 day? Why not imagine actually owning stock and making money off it, owning real estate investments, making money off of it? Why not have that for you in your reality? So these are just a few things. Hopefully you guys got some major takeaways today. I would love to try and bring someone on or bring her on. However, it's not letting me bring anyone else on because my thing is frozen. Make sure to check out prospectingalliance.com, www.prospectingalliance.com. And if you guys are interested in learning more about my personal mastermind, that's where I have done a lot of training with agents and helping them grow to a next level with their mindset, with their money, with their spiritual realm, with their entire freaking life. But ultimately, they're growing their business and their fulfillment. That's what one part I was hoping to get into with Shauna is, hey, like you're being successful with all this money and all this business, but what about the personal fulfillment side? What are some of the things that you got to shift? And one thing we talked about with her in New Orleans was the opportunity to be able to create some space in her life, be able to just take care of her just a little bit more, where the magic happens, as she said. I'm so freaking bummed right now that we don't get to talk to you about this. So we're going to bring Shauna on another time so we can talk to you about the mastermind and some of the cool things from that. Thanks for being here, guys. We'll see you later.